What if I told you that some of the richest empires in history, empires that controlled oceans, conquered continents, and minted fortunes beyond imagination, ended up broke? Not because of enemies, not because of lazy rulers, but because of money itself. Why do nations that seem unstoppable suddenly find their coffers empty, their armies unpaid, and their people starving? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden financial trap that has swallowed every great empire in history, and the answer might shock you. Money is supposed to be power, but history tells a different story. Rome had gold flowing from across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Spain had mountains of silver shipped from the Americas. Britain built a global financial empire, controlling trade, credit, and investment on a scale never seen before. Yet each of these empires eventually ran out of money. Why? To understand, we need to look at the systems behind the wealth: taxation, trade, debt, and inflation, and how they interact over time. Empires don't get rich overnight. Rome began its expansion with local taxes and tribute from conquered territories. Spain extracted silver from the New World. Britain leveraged credit, banking, and trade monopolies to generate wealth. The key here is extraction. Empires survive by taking more than they give. But this system is inherently unstable. It works when expansion is cheap, resources are plentiful, trade is booming, but it hides a ticking financial bomb beneath the surface. As empires grow, so does their appetite. Rome spent on roads, aqueducts, and armies. Spain financed wars to defend its global empire. Britain maintained colonies and navies. Initially, wealth flows in faster than it flows out. Citizens and armies are paid, infrastructure expands, and empires seem invincible. But the cracks start appearing when spending accelerates faster than revenue, and leaders borrow to cover gaps. Rome debased its currency, reducing the silver content in coins, leading to inflation and social unrest. Spain's silver flooded Europe, causing prices to skyrocket while debts mounted. Britain faced repeated financial crises whenever wars drained its treasury. The pattern is clear. Overspending, debt, and inflation create a spiral. Once an empire reaches the breaking point, no amount of conquest or taxation can restore balance. Attempts to fix these problems often fail. Rome tried higher taxes and tighter controls, but collapsed under internal and external pressures. Spain repeatedly defaulted on loans. Britain restructured debt and innovated financially, but even it faced crises like the South Sea bubble and massive colonial costs. The lesson? Empires can temporarily patch their finances, but the underlying structural imbalance almost always returns. The same dynamics repeat today. Countries like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and even heavily indebted nations like the United States show the same patterns: overspending, borrowing, and inflation eventually erode purchasing power. Shockingly, global debt has doubled over the past 2 decades, surpassing $300 trillion. Every empire in history that ignored these warning signs eventually lost control of its wealth. Extraction has limits. Wealth can't be endlessly taken without consequences. Debt is temporary power. Borrowing can fund expansion, but it compounds over time. Inflation is a silent killer. Devaluing money may postpone collapse, but it doesn't prevent it. The warning is clear. Power without financial prudence is fragile. History isn't just about the past, it's a mirror for the present. Every empire eventually runs out of money. So the question isn't if, but when. What lessons will we take before the same fate repeats on a global scale? If you found this exploration eye-opening, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because next, we'll dive into the most shocking economic collapses of the modern era and what they tell us about the world today.